This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Now Duane and Ray talk cover crops.
Duane Sims joining you on AG A.M. in Kansas, and a chance to catch up with Ray Archuleta and talking about soil health and cover crop field day where we caught up. And Ray, certainly there's more known all the time, but probably still more unknown about soil microbes and that thing that we call agriculture. What goes on below the ground, there's probably more happening than above the ground that we typically see.
Well, that's true. There's millions and millions of species. In fact, the soil has more species than all the species above, insect, plant. The soil is an incredible ecosystem, and that's true. We still don't know a bunch about that soil.
Tell us a little bit about when you work with a group of growers, about what you try and convey in the big picture of things that's going to help them be more profitable and have a better feel about how they operate within their agricultural system.
I think the most powerful thing that can happen for producers is change the way they think. They got to change the way they look at the farm, especially the soil. The farm never stopped being part of the planet Earth. It's an amazing ecosystem. It's complex, it's elegant, and it wants to be fed. So, and it's fed through diversity of plants and animals. So I think that's the first thing, is understand that the soil's alive.
Talking about soils being alive, a lot of discussion in recent years about understanding what happens when there's a growing plant on top of the soil with that root system below it, and not breaking that cycle, but intermixing it.
Yes, is restoring that carbon cycle. First thing is to capture as much solar energy as possible, and that solar energy feeds that soil. It runs on what we call liquid sun. All those compounds that leak into the soil, it runs the soil microbes. Microbes are 90% of nutrient cycling. If farmers understand that, they can reduce their chemical inputs by quite a bit.
We think about how we got to this point. Obviously, there was a lot of discussion about no-till in the past 30 years. Really we've moved beyond that to looking at really healthy soils and how they can be a part of that system as well.
Yeah, great comment. I think what we did is in the 80s or the 70s, we promoted no-till because we could see the benefit. But see, no-till only stops the destruction of the house, but it doesn't feed the factory workers in there. It's the multi-species mixes, it's the plants, it's the rotations, it's the animals that drive that system. So we were missing half the equation. So now we're telling producers, no-till stops the destruction, but now the plants and the diversity feed the system.
Our thanks to Ray Archuleta joining us on AG A.M. in Kansas. Jamie, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Duane. Come back after the break for this week's Angus Report.
This is Eric Stonestreet, and as many of you know, I love my home state of Kansas. In March, Kansas ranchers lost homes, equipment, and thousands of cattle from the largest wildfires in the state's history. Imagine losing all you have in a fire. Not just your house, but your livelihood. Ranchers are beginning to rebuild, but it will take years and tens of millions of dollars to build back herds, fences, and other infrastructure. Today, I'm asking you to help. Donate what you can and show your support to the ranchers of Kansas. Simply go to kansasfires.com. Your donation is tax deductible and will go to those who need it the most.